Welcome back, guys. It's been a while since the last video. So I've leveled up a bit in my company, changed the focus area. Um, yeah, well, the fruit of that labor is what I'm going to share with you guys today. It's a bit more front-endy focus, and because of that, what we're going to build today is this. We're going to set up an NX-workspace with a backend, a front end, and a database. So NX is going to maintain and be able to serve our projects, and Angular front end is because that's what my company is going to switch to. And in order to get some dirt on the nails with this framework, I'm going to do some videos on it. And NestJS is just a backend that fits very well. It could be, it could have been anything really, but it just fits so good. So that's what we're choosing. And SQLite is the database because it's easy to work with. And then Prisma makes just a bit level up on that so we can have migrations and stuff like this. It's a very nice tool. It's easy to create the schema for the databases and such. The tech stack I have here and the documentation I'm going to add in the description. But yeah, I have them open here always so I can quickly look up if I get in doubt. When in doubt, look it up. And as you can see here, it can support many different types of database, this Prisma. And if I encourage you guys to nerd it out if you feel like learning more about these individual things. But today the focus is going to be get this stuff up and running. So let's start a command line tool here. I'm going to make it a bit bigger and zoom so you guys can see. Make sure you're in the right folder always, because god damn it, I've made that mistake before. First things first, we need to create an nx-workspace. You do that with this command, npx create nx-workspace. And it's gonna do everything automatically. We just need to give it some options here. So integrated is what you want to choose, and then we're gonna set up to begin with the nest. So we're gonna do the backend. We're gonna do that backend, then we're gonna add a database, and then we're gonna add Angular. So now it's gonna ask for the name of the whole repository. It's gonna be nx-e-commerce. Oh yeah, we're building an e-commerce site, by the way. Gonna sell t-shirts. Application name, so the name of the nest, we're gonna call it e-commerce-backend. That's easier for me to keep track of in the IDE. Usually I use WebStorm for these things, but today we're gonna do it in code because I believe that's what most of you guys are gonna use. So this is gonna take a while, and while it loads here, you can enjoy this elevator music. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm gonna fast forward this part and I'm gonna catch you guys on the other side. So this is fun. I've been doing this many times and now I got a new error. Could not initialize Git repository. That's okay. We're gonna see if we can work with it without that for now. I don't think you guys are gonna get that error, but if you do, let me know and we can try and work it out together. I'm gonna crack on here. Oh, and you might get an extra orange here to say that you don't have NX installed globally. You guys can go ahead and do that if you feel like it, but you're actually not gonna need it for this tutorial. It's always fun with new errors. All right. So now we're inside our NX e-commerce. So let's see if it works at least. We're gonna test that by serving our backend application. And I believe we called it e-commerce-backend. So if it can host and serve this, then everything's working. Yeah, perfect. So now we're gonna call an API, standard API. Welcome to the e-commerce backend. So it works. Let's open a new. So before we jump in and look at code and stuff like that, we're gonna set up the database now. So now we're gonna make sure we're in the correct folder because I've done this mistake before. What the hell did we call it? There. Let's zoom so you guys can see. Okay, so Prisma, we're gonna add that now. And first things first, we're gonna install the client so that we can talk with it in our backend. Install. Then we're gonna install Prisma. So after it's done installing, then we're gonna initialize it, and we're gonna tell it that we want to use SQLite. And you do that with the data source provider command. So npx prisma edit init data source provider SQLite. Nice. So now we're gonna start up code and have a look, see if everything looks like it should, or if we need to do something. Over. There we go. Zoom out a bit on this. Okay. So now we have all these files. Let's check that our schema looks correct here. SQLite provider, yes. All right. It looks good. Now we want to add our first model here. And because we're gonna be doing an e-commerce site, we're gonna add a product. Well, this is not exactly what we want, but we want an ID. It's gonna be int. And we're gonna set this at default, and then that octo increment we're gonna do like this actually, and then make it a string. All right. So you can you guys just follow along. What am I doing? There we go. Name string, yes. Description, yes, correct. No. Image string. So this autocomplete that you guys are seeing is GitHub Copilot. I have GitHub Copilot. So, all right, now this looks like I want. We have ID, we have name, we have description, image, price, and it's a SKU. So, okay. And extensions that I use. I have a lot of extensions, but the ones that are important for this, I would assume would like Prisma, I guess, for now. We're gonna take the others as it comes. If I miss something, I'm gonna install it. But you can see here, I have some HTML, JavaScript stuff. If you guys want, I can send you prettier. God damn it, that's an amazing thing to have also. All right, so now we have this like we want. Now we're gonna go back to the to our command line, and we're gonna set up this database now with this model. And the way we do that is we say npx Prisma, and then we're gonna do a migration now. Migrate dev preview feature. Then it should ask me for a name, I guess. Yeah, enter the name of the migration. Init for initial migration. Boom. Boom, boom. So now you can see that we have a migration here. We have the database and the way we need to check now. So now comes the smart part of Prisma. Prisma Studio. Check this out, guys. Holy shit, that's large. Let's zoom out a bit. So now you see here products. you can navigate your database here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a bit of data manually. So the name of the first is going to be t-shirt, description, great fit, super comfy. URL, oh dear lord. Let's add that later. We can always come back and update. The price, okay, zoom out so we can see what the hell's going on. Zoom out. Actually, let's find some pictures after. Price 25. And let's say we have 120. So, unsplash.com, that's open source pictures of what you can say without any copyright on them. So let's find a picture here. T-shirt. This is my t-shirt. Boom. I'm wondering what the correct URL would be. Not there. Oh, the reason I changed it was because I saw it had some crop and stuff. We're going to worry about that later. So that's the first project. Save. And then add record. Second thing is going to be a sweater. Yeah, what is this? This sweater is, oh, we'll move that keyboard. Awesome for cold days. Then we're going to say we want a sweater, guys. Yeah, this one. Copy image address. What do we want this to cost? This is costing 69. And 456. Yes. Save. And let's add one more. Jeans. Mega super awesome jeans. Image. Jeans. These are mega super awesome, right? Oh, I like the pose and that she looks like she doesn't give a F. And these are gonna cost 39. And we have, whoa, we have a lot of those. No, like that. See, all right, so now we have this. And very nice. So what do we need to do now exactly, guys? I think we need to create a API controller. So new terminal here. Zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me type this out and I'll. So this is a nx command, as you can see, and we're using it to create. All right. So now we're going to create our API controller, and it should also create our service, as you can see there, controller and service. So let's see. Oh my God, I spelled it wrong. It helps if you spell it correct, guys. And let's make sure now, because I effed up, that it looks correct. Okay, nothing has gone wrong here. Okay, so now we want to go to the service. That was too much open at once here. Oh, let me open something is wrong with my mouse. Service. Okay. So we're gonna do what is it? Const Prisma equals to new Prisma client. Yes. So this is what we're going to use to be able to talk with this stuff. Doesn't it know how to? Okay, then I have to do the imports myself. There, yes, and we're going to. Thank you. So inside here, whoa, inside there, we're gonna say public class, or public get products. If I could spell correct. Exactly. So find many inside of this. Oh, by the way, this needs to be we want to return an array of product. Okay. So now we need an import. There. So, all right. Do we need anything else in here? Well, this is stupid. I'm gonna add it like this. Okay, so now this is like we want it to be. So a note on this is that this endpoint has a layer of safety applied, and it will help us out if we can, so we can manipulate the data before it's returned to the client, and that's because we return a promise here that resolves an array of product. But we don't think about that for now. Now we want to go to the controller, and here we're gonna make an API. So let's see here. Should we do the imports first to avoid any issues? We're gonna need controller, and we're gonna need get. Oh, we have up there. Sorry. Yeah, that's all we're gonna need. We're gonna say, yeah, like that. Exactly. There. That should work, guys. But yeah, before we can actually use this stuff, make any API calls, we need to add it to the module, the app module. So we go over to our app.module.ts inside of the e-commerce backend. And let's just add this stuff. So controllers, that's correct. We want this one, and we want the one we just created, products controller. And it doesn't want it because we need to import it. So that was incorrect. Sometimes this GitHub Copilot doesn't really know what the diddly it's doing. So yeah, and then provider, we need the service. What? Yeah, oh, thank God it also updated. I think that's it, guys. Now we should be able to test this endpoint here. So what did we call it? API /products. We get an error. Now why do we get an error? I'm embarrassed to say that took me longer than I was expecting. Yeah, so that was nice and embarrassing, you guys, because I had typed something wrong before. You see here, this was not correct when it did the thing. So yeah, now it's served again. So it was working like it should. I don't know if I'm keeping in all that looking around stuff or if I had cut it out. But yeah, basically I've just spent some time. I was looking over things and why it wasn't working. Then when I realized I couldn't even access the backend here, I went back and checked that the service was actually running, and of course it wasn't. So now that we know, we can see here, this is what we got, what we put in our database. Here you see Prisma Studio. What we do now, we're gonna enable what's called, let's find there it is. So let's close all this fucking shit down. Right. So inside this main.ts, we're gonna say app dot this one, and this means cross-origin resource sharing. It relaxes the security applied to the API, which makes Angular able to what you might call it, talk to it. Over, close. Okay. So now we need to add Angular. These two are running as they should. Perfect. So let's use this one. Okay. So first we're going to install this Angular package thing here so that we're able to add Angular. It's what NX uses. Jesus. What's taking so long? I've had internet issues all goddamn day. What do we want to call it? We're going to call it e-commerce-frontend. Fancy, fancy. Nice. Okay, so now we're adding Angular. So we're going to just use normal CSS. Would you like to enable routing? Ah, yes. It's easy to set up yourself, but let's not worry about it. So while this is thinking, do you want some more elevator music? Or maybe a beatbox? I can also just speed this up. Oba! Okay, moment of truth. NX serve. So now we're gonna boot up our Angular website, see if it's working. I'm wondering if I can control click these. Oh my god, I can. It works, guys. Awesome sauce. So that's it for this video. We're gonna wait with adding the APIs and stuff to Angular in the next video, because then we're gonna focus on that, and I'm gonna be more explanatory in the commands and go more in depth of what they do. Now we have set up this stack that we have here. So now we completed this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.